Hello everyone, it's Danny. Alrighty, the day has finally come for me to show you the Encyclia cordigera because she is in full bloom. Well, almost. You have requested this orchid so much in the comments lately, but I just waited for this orchid to be in full bloom so I can show you the full potential of the orchid. Alrighty, so this is a species orchid, which means in nature you will find it just as it is. And you have to admit, it is a very interesting bloom, very interesting shape and color to it. Now I have to say, this orchid is actually very popular among orchid collectors. I think every serious orchid collector that has the environment for this orchid actually has this particular species. Now, apart from the beautiful shape and the beautiful colors of the flowers, this orchid is also very fragrant. Now, some people suggest it smells like chocolate, and some people say it actually smells like roses. In my opinion, because, you know, fragrance is a personal thing, I think indeed it does smell like chocolate, but it's not vanilla chocolate. It's a sort of a dark chocolate, let's say cocoa chocolate, maybe. No vanilla scent to it. And also, it is slightly floral in a way. I'm not sure if I would call it rosy-like, but definitely there's something floral about it. Another thing about the fragrance, it does smell particularly in the morning time, but at noon it starts to fade. But the fragrance transforms itself into a sort of honey-like fragrance. It's really beautiful. And then in the afternoon it stops smelling altogether. Now the fragrance is pretty powerful, although I was expecting really a little bit more. But you know what? I have in mind the Brassavola orchids, which are like the queens of fragrant orchids, and their powerful fragrance is really hard to find with any other orchid. So if I compare this one to a Brassavola, it's really not as strong as a Brassavola scent. But it is indeed strong, and it can actually fill half of my balcony, so I think I'm good with this fragrance. Okay, now let's take a look at the orchid, because the blooms are not the only ones, which are very pretty and interesting. So the blooms are displayed on a flower spike that is pretty tall, not very, but decently tall, which comes from the center of a pseudobulb. Now I'd like to show you the pseudobulb because it is such a beautiful thing. It has this onion or egg shape to it, and in good conditions with proper hydration it stays plump and nice. Now the size may vary, but it can get quite large, as you can see. So I really love the pseudobulb of this orchid. The leaves kind of resemble Cattleya orchid leaves. In my opinion, it is somewhat related to Cattleya orchids, and indeed it takes Cattleya orchid care, but definitely it has a different bloom pattern, as you can see on a flower spike with multiple flowers. I think this orchid has about 7 flowers, 2, 4, 6 flowers. And the size of the flower actually is pretty decent. It's not a big flower, but it's not a small flower either. Now, I've seen on the internet different variations of the cordigera. In some cases, you can have a more purple lip, a full purple lip. In some cases, you can have a white lip with just a little bit of pink or purple. There is also an alba variety, which means it lacks the purple pigment, and the petals are green while the lip is white, so there is quite a little bit of variety. This particular one, I really love it. I absolutely love the pattern on the lip. I'll try to give you a close-up. As you can see, it has really pretty purple veins. Now, of course, these varieties may differ slightly even in fragrance. I actually heard that the variety that has a solid purple lip is a little bit more fragrant, thank you, Jackie, or a little bit more intense than this one. I'm not sure what to tell you. I think the fragrance on this one is decent. It's chocolatey, it is delicious, but certainly it's not as powerful or as overwhelming as, let's say, Brassavola. In any case, I do believe this is an easy orchid to keep, and it is one of those centerpieces in your orchid collection. Really lovely shape to it, quite unique. So if you're thinking of trying out a different orchid, you want to try a species, I would actually go with the Encyclia orchids, because they do resemble Cattleya orchids quite a lot in their care. They do need bright light, they do like to dry out in between waterings and so on, but they have the added benefit that most of them are quite fragrant, especially the cordigera. So okay, this was the video on the cordigera. Let me try to give you a full view of this orchid. She is quite tall. She's not a small thing, but I don't think you'll have problems in creating space for this one. Alrighty, so thank you for watching this video. If you want to see more videos from me, don't forget to subscribe. You can leave me comments, suggestions, and questions in the comment section below. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram, and you can also visit orchidnature.com for more goodies on orchids. I will see you next time. Bye!